Welcome to the Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and this is my collection of stickers from the major channels, and I just recently got a new one here from Chris B257. It's the old man's shop, and you know, old men watch old men, don't they? And then of course there's all the, you know, the other guys. And talking about channels, after I started my channel, you know, I thought, well, if you get subscribers, that means you're doing all right. You know, you're doing things right. And if you don't, you're doing things wrong. And so I got in the habit of every day I would look over there and see how many subscribers I got. And then a few days ago, I looked at it, and I saw that the last two digits were 70. And I thought, well, that's okay, you know, because I'm sure it was less before. It seems to me like it was 69. And I fooled around a little bit, and I went back and looked at it again after I watched a couple of videos, and it was 69. And I thought, well, did I imagine it was 70? I thought, no, I'm pretty sure it was 70. So I'll go off and I'll watch a couple more videos, and I go back and look, and now it's 70. Well, this went on all day, you know, up till 10 at night. Every hour, 2 hours, I go back and look, and one time it's 69, and the next time it's 70, and then it's 69, and then it's 70. And over a period of days, it was stuck there, you know. And one day I thought, well, you know, you idiot, you're getting fixated on watching that stupid number, and you need to do something else. And so I quit watching it. But I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it still bounced between 69 and 70. It got in that spot for several days. I think that I need to just forget about that, forget about the analytics and all that sort of thing, because you know, you got a channel, you go, you watch the stupid analytics, and they say views are up and views are down, and viewer time is up and viewer time per video is down, and it just goes up and down all the time. And I can look at various videos and see that these are the ones that people like, and they didn't like this one over here. I can already tell people don't like puzzles, you know, so no more puzzles. And sometimes people like stuff at the range, and sometimes people like other things. I guess it depends on the mood they're in at that time. And so after having been fixated for a few days on watching that number, I decided that I'm going to leave that alone, forget about it, and go on and have fun and do other things, because, you know, a guy can spend half his time looking at a number, and that's, you know, that's silly. But today I'm going to do something that's different. I'm going to turn a little bit of wood, and on top of turning a little bit of wood, we're going to do a couple of other things with plastic, and we'll see, you know, how it comes out. And Bubba, he's taking a little break. Ollie's taking a break. The boss lady watched my last video, and she didn't like the joke at all. She said it was inappropriate and too far on the R side, and so I thought, well, I'd take a little break from having jokes. That means I've stopped having music in the videos, because it always got shifted off of the, you know, the fast forward times, and I'd have no music when I was fast forwarding, then I'd have music when I was talking, and so I've dropped the music. Right now we're dropping the joke until I get a little better grip on it, and no more looking at the analytics. So we're going to just fly by the seat of our pants. And I went to the range the other day, and it was a lot of fun, and I realized I was spending too much time in the shop and not enough time on the range. So who knows, the videos may change or stretch out or whatever, you know. But today we're going to turn some wood, so let's get on with the stuff. Oh, before we get on with the wood turning, something else came back into my mind, and that's channel swag. And I was contacted recently by a viewer wanting to, you know, see if I could send them some channel swag Well, I hadn't got none. I don't have any little pins like A-Bomb. I don't have no t-shirts. I don't even have any stickers. You know, this is just a one-man redneck operation here in low tech, and there ain't nothing but me, you know. So I'm sorry if I had the stuff, I'd send it to you, but I hadn't got it, and chances of me getting any of that stuff anytime soon are pretty slim. So anyway, now let's go turn some wood. Yeah, I can hear the questions right now. Just what kind of a lame brain thing is the old geezer doing now? Well, I saw this on another channel, and you may have seen it there too, but I've never done it. So what we're going to do is we're going to melt some high density polyethylene and make it a replacement hammerhead. And I've got some clear, relatively clear plastic, and I've got some nice yellow plastic, and I'm going to try and keep the different colors of plastic separated, so that way I can have different colored hammerheads. They'll probably be one just as messy as the other. What I started out doing here was I was sitting here cleaning guns, you know, because I've been to the range and I got a lot of cleaning up to do, and on top of that, hadn't cleaned my bench rest rifle since last season, so I had to do that. But then the thought came over me, why don't you just go ahead and cut up some plastic? So that's what I'm trying to do here. Not very successfully, but I'm going to do it. I got an oven to bake it in. I bought a little aluminum cylinder at an estate sale a while back. I have no idea what I was going to do with it. Well, now I do. It's going to be just exactly the right thing to put this in. I don't understand why that was cutting so good a minute ago, and I don't want to cut it all now. But I've got some scissors someplace, and I'm gonna cut this dang stuff with scissors if I can, and I'm gonna cut it into small pieces. I think small pieces would probably mix in together better. I don't know. I saw one guy cut it in strips, and all his stuff melted together. So I don't know. Nevertheless, we're going to get it cut up and mixed in one way or the other. The nice thing about a bleach bottle is the label was a plastic ring that I just popped off there. Now I got other bottles that have got labels that are on really good, and I got them soaking in water right now in the hopes that they will decide to turn loose, you know. Now this stuff here, these, I don't know if these are too big, too short. Since I've never done it before, I don't know anything about it hardly, but what we're going to do is just bail off in it and see how it comes out. And I know somebody's going to say, oh, how do you know you've got high density polyethylene? Well, this little thing's got a 2. And I'm not sure if you can see it or not. Zoom it in some. And right below the 2 in the triangle, it says HDPE, which stands for high density polyethylene. You find that on the bottom of your jug, that's what you got. Or at least that's what they told me. And I'm sticking to that story right now. So that's why I'm cutting up these particular bottles. Now this was vitamin C, and it had nice labels on it, and I scraped it off, and that's a lot of work. The label went all the way around. There may be a little glue left on it. I don't know what kind of an effect the glue is going to have on things, but if you don't want to mess with the labels, stick to milk jugs and bleach bottles. But I got a big yellow soap bottle that I want some yellow plastic too. So I think on the ones to where they've just got a label on one side, I may just cut around the label and throw it away. After all, I was throwing it away anyway. I got this at an estate sale, and a little nasty in there, spider web. And I kind of wondered, well, what am I going to do with it? I don't even know what it was in its former life, but today it's going to be a sort of a crucible for our plastic working, and I think I'll just draw a circle around it so I'll have some idea as to where to start turning it down. I can cut it off on the bandsaw, but I'm too lazy to do it with a handsaw, and we'll make a plug out of it to go in here. And I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, we're going to make a plug to fit this in. We're going to turn this little sucker on the lathe, and we're going to pretend all is lovely. Okay, so this is sort of chucked up here. I drew lines from corner to corner, which are not dead on the corners, but then I stuck a pencil in the tailstock and figured that if I lined up the pencil with where they crossed, they'd be pretty near the middle. Now I guess you'd ask what kind of a insert you use to turn a piece of wood. I guess maybe it's an OMG 32 or a, you know, an LOL 19. I don't know. One of those tool numbers, whatever it takes, you know. Anyway, we're going to engage the belt here and see how fast it's going. That looks good enough. Now we'll try and make it round a little bit. I don't know if you guys have watched Matthias Wandel lately, but he built his own lathe out of plywood and such, and he's even built a wooden 4-jaw chuck. So if you haven't seen that, you ought to go over there and look. These Canadians are pretty clever, you know. Disaster here. I just discovered that there's a lip inside this thing, so I'm gonna have to measure it again before I get any further. I'll be back after I try to figure out how to unmess my mess up. Alright, I measured the inside of that little tube, and it's 1.934, so that's what we got to go to with this guy here. And they tell me you can zero your calipers and find out how much you got to go. Alright, I'm going to cut off 200 thousandths right here, one whack. Partied it off with a hacksaw, so there's the front. I didn't need a facing cut, I don't think. I forgot about the camera, but anyway, I figured my best bet to run a boring tool in there a little ways and just clean that up. Well, this guy is awfully tight when you go to put it in there. I mean, it fits. Don't get me wrong, it's the right size, but maybe 10 thousandths is too close for a piece of wood. Or maybe it's too close for a guy that can't get it in there straight, but I may have to sand a little off of it, but we'll move on. Okay, so with a little bit of maneuvering around on the sander, and my parting off wasn't exactly square with that hacksaw, but we're going to fill this thing up with plastic now. I'm going to put the yellow plastic in first, and then we'll put in the white colored. Alright, so I got this good orange stuff, and it smells a little bit like laundry soap, but I tried to get it as clean as possible. Probably didn't do a good job, but I did what I did. So there you are. Okay, so I'll have to feed in a little bit and wait till things heat up, then feed in a little bit more. And that's going to take a long time, so I'm going to move you back to a strategic location and turn off the camera. Alright, it's heating up some. Now, able to push some of the plastic down a little bit. And then throw some more in, some fresh stuff. Who knows, maybe the first hammerhead will turn out to be all orange. That wouldn't be bad. It's not exactly the plan, but it wouldn't be bad. Alright, let's set this back in there and let it go for a while longer. Alright, I'm going to pack it down in here like I've done actually several times already. See, it's in there somewhat. Put some more of it in there. Got my oven turned up to maximum. It says 450 degrees. I don't know how hot it really gets, but it's getting as much as it can. It looks like I did good on the smaller pieces because it's certainly easier to get them in there. Yeah. I've just about used up all of that 2.5 gallon soap jug. Darn it. I'll knock the plastic loose in there again. Before it gets sticky. Starting to get sticky already. I'm no good with chopsticks, I can see that. There. Woo! That's hot. And that little piece of plastic was getting hot. Alright, we'll just keep on packing it in, melting it down, and packing it in till it gets full and won't pack down anymore. No redneck project is really complete without duct tape. And I noticed the other guys kept getting their little plugs stuck down in the plastic, and I guess they had to tear the wood up to get loosen the plastic. So I put a little duct tape on the end of it. I don't think I can stuff any more down in the tube, and I think that it may be melted good enough, so we're going to pull it out and lock it down. I'm going to try to get it in this vise if it'll open up enough. I don't know if it will. I think it will. Far enough. There we go. It's just almost too big for the vise. Alright, so I squeezed that bugger in there, and there's hardly any plastic came around the edges of it because I got it close enough to the size of the tube. and I've pressed it in there as far as I can get it. So we're gonna knock off for today, and tomorrow's bench rest time. So I'll go for the bench rest match and then come back and take a nice long nap, and then we'll come back and see how this stuff comes out.